Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am Richard Hanley, district attorney appointed by Judge Harris. You should know that I have been especially charged with the responsibility of appearing before this grand jury to inform you of facts through witnesses or documentary evidence of crimes that we believe to have been committed. The first case on the docket is the case of the state of California versus Kathy Lang Grant. Now, we have certain information to the effect that on the night of September 12th, 1952, Mrs. Grant committed the crime known as murder. Now, we have documentary evidence, and witnesses will testify as to what they know, what they saw, and what they heard from Kathy Lang Grant herself. Miss Alice Graham, our first witness, is ready to tell you what she knows about this crime. Now, Miss Graham, will you tell the jury in your own words, please, exactly what you know happened on the night of September the 12th?
Well, I suppose I should say first that Kathy had been sharing an apartment with me for some months. We'd become very good friends. But Kathy isn't the kind of person who talks very much about herself. I did know that she had a friend, a medical student who lived in San Francisco, with whom she'd been, well, they had had some sort of a falling out.
Now, Miss Graham, we are particularly interested in the night of September the 12th, the night that Robert Lang met his death. You knew the deceased?
Oh, yes. Kathy, well, she'd been going out with him pretty regularly. She had confided in me that, well, that Bob was pretty crazy about her, but she didn't care too much about him. Personally, I think the main reason she went out with him as much as she did was because she'd had a misunderstanding with Dick Grant.
Go on, Miss Grant.
Well, I think that it was around Labor Day. Kathy went away for a few days. And when she came back, she told me she'd married Bob, but that she didn't want anyone to know about it. She swore me to secrecy, and, well, she was a pretty unhappy girl.
Unhappy?
Well, what I mean is, the day after she married Bob, she came back to the apartment. And, well, she told me she was sorry she'd married him, that she'd made a big mistake, but she didn't know what to do about it.
Yes?
Well, she didn't see too much of her husband. She avoided him as much as possible. Of course, Bob was terribly in love with her.
If I may ask, Miss Graham, did Mrs. Grant, then Mrs. Lang, entertain any idea of a divorce or an annulment?
Oh, yes. Yes, she did.
I see.